to Triple D's or
Daddy-Daughter Discussion. I'm Tyron.
I'm Giselle. And before we start anything, I have an important question to ask. How was your week?
It was good. It was good. No, nothing. It was nothing dramatic. It was just like, I guess, in the middle. But I started mentoring at this school called San Antonio Preparatory School. And it's like 14 boys, African-American boys, Mexican-American, I think one European-American.
Is it a private school?
Yeah. So it's a charter school. So what we're going to do is just, some of them are underprivileged. Father's been gone, mother's been gone in jail. So just to give them some, just some presents. So, you know me, I'm excited when I can feed into other people. That's one of my simple pleasures. So outside of that, I started that this week. It's been a good week. What about you?
It's been good. It's been productive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had projects. I got them done. My college applications, they are ready to submit.
Oh, we got the paper on and submit them?
Yep. But I just wanted someone to check it over. They are ready to submit. I applied for a scholarship. So it's been a productive week for my future, and it makes me feel happy. Okay,
well, we'll take a look at them. We're going to chill tonight, I don't think. We'll probably take a look at them when we get back.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan. As long as we have them submitted by Wednesday, I want to have them submitted by 1 November.
Yeah, we just need to look them over because they're ready.
They ready?
They're ready.
Good. Or you can give me access to it and I can look at it.
Okay, yeah. Because, I got a lot of awards, but everything else, like the extracurricular, other than the podcast, nothing. Volunteer work, nothing. Employment, nothing.
It's all good. It's not like you in high school. Your quasi job is school. You volunteer if you want. You do things that you volunteer, but it's not things that people designate. Like, you help me out a lot with some of the things I do in terms of writing and advice. That I use that advice and I give to other children. So, so don't marginalize nothing. But we just want to give us I want to give us another talking for the week, because tomorrow we're going to see your sister.
Yeah, at SMU homecoming.
Yeah, we're gonna go check her out, and we're gonna just enjoy the festivities, And so today I was thinking, what did I want to talk about, and one of the things that I think this conversation will just kind of hit it surfacely today, but I want to have at least 3 episodes on this, because I think as we talk, as you sleep and think about it, to next week, you're going to probably have a lot to add. Because what I wanted to talk about was pretty much, what makes us, and do we understand, I just want to share to the audience a little bit about me. So when I text you that, what was your thoughts? First of all, I sent her a text on something that I want to share with her about a little bit on who, just so she can know a little bit more about her father. Go ahead.
It was it's one of those things, when you read it, when you say it out loud, I was like, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. It was like connecting the dots for me. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. I see that already.
Yeah. And I think some of that, so what I shared with her, and I was just telling her I'm a minimalist. And a lot of people always call me cheapskate, or they call me frugal and all this. And it's not any of that. It's just, for me, one of my things that gives me peace is to minimize certain big transactions, whether it's financially, whether it's energy. I'm a minimalist. So even with my house, you don't see a whole lot of. It's very.
Yeah, very.
So it connected dots, though, right?
Yeah. I want to say I'm a minimalist, but
no.
Yeah, I'm a hoarder. I like to hoard things. I like to hoard precious memories. Not very precious memories, but still memories.
Yeah.
I like to hoard stuff, and giving it away, it feels like an insult to the past. And
it's funny you say that, because one of the biggest things, like a lot of watches, most of my favorite watches that I love, I've given them away. Not because of some false humility, or it's just how I look at, and this podcast can go all over the place, so we're just talking. When I was looking at love, and when I start loving somebody, I'm willing to lose. So I'm willing to lose something so precious to me to give it to you without any regrets. Like my brother, I know who I gave it to. I can see they still wearing them today, and I look at them. Now these are like $8,000 watches, right? Not trying to say prices or even trying to flex. I'm just trying to give you the magnitude. This is just not.
It's not just a little watch.
Yeah. So, not to chastise about the hoarding and things like that, but that goes into what we're going to talk about. You have to go ahead.
It's like I don't take it as an insult, because that's where you're at, and I want to be at that level to give away stuff. I'm getting there. I'm starting to throw away paperwork. Start small with stuff that you don't really need. But
but I think the reason I even said, I think it's important to know your why. So when you hoard, when you say you hoard, you might not even be a hoarder. You have to understand your why. Like you just somewhat gave me your why. You don't like to give away precious memories. You cherish memories. That's a pretty good why. And I don't think that's something, you should want to change. There are little things I got paintings that you guys did when y'all was 3. Y'all seen them? Yeah, so it's nothing wrong with that. But it's just not everything. I don't got everything y'all gave me, but I got some of the things.
I'm trying to, my thing is I need to filter precious memories and memories that happened. Yeah, because, Dad, if you've seen our closet at home, I have paperwork from, the 5th grade that I don't look back on. Thinking, I'm going to look back on this.
I believe it. I believe it.
I need to throw that away.
And I think it's important to, and then I had sent you a second text, and I don't know, you probably didn't understand that, and I was like, seasonal depression, right? And when I say seasonal depression, I'm going to probably go a whole different direction that you probably going to, and maybe not. But when I say seasonal depression, what comes to mind?
Seasonal depression to me, it's I don't really know how to explain it. It's just when you get in that, just a time. I don't know how to explain it. Okay,
well, I will tell you where I'm going with it, and maybe that will give you some ammunition. So for me, when I look at seasonal depression, we did, I think our 3rd, 4th podcast, we talked about nature. So just like we can get depressed, nature can get depressed. But depression, not in that, I look at depression as vibration and energy. So go ahead.
When we learn in school, depression, it's not it's not a bad thing. It's just a low point.
Yes.
So that's it's a low point.
Low is not bad or good. It's
just a low point.
Exactly. So when I look at it from a seasonal in nature, and I kind of use this technique when I used to talk to my clients, or just talk to people when I'm doing talks, is when you look at nature, there's 4 different seasons, right? So let's fixate on spring and summer. When you think of spring and summer, you're thinking outwardly. You're pushing things out. There's growth, there's new birth, all of those things is vibrant, right?
And then fall and winter, you're pulling it back to nature.
Exactly. But what we tend to do when we get seasonal depression, and it's almost is we want to be how we are in the summer and spring during this time.
It's like the toxic positivity. You want to be happy all the time, and you don't let yourself feel any other emotion, and that does more harm than good.
That does a lot of harm. So it's good, during this time, you notice I was going home a lot in September, and I do that a lot. That's part of me beginning to ground myself. I get grounded when I'm home. Grounding to me is not just putting my feet in the sand or putting my feet in the grass. It is a lot of me bringing my outwardly things inwardly and doing some introspective looking, a deep introspective looking on reassessing values, beliefs, and holding things in. Because just like nature, what does the animals do during that time?
They go to sleep.
They hibernate, and that's an inward because that's the same thing. That's the same as our tree. They looking at it as death, but I look at it as inward.
They're not dead. They always come back.
They're not dead. They just it's stumping for that moment, and I think to me it's almost arrogant that we like doing this season from. Go ahead.
You can finish.
No, I don't want you to forget your thought.
Oh, well, I was like, humans are arrogant creatures. That's obvious. It's like we remove ourselves from the natural order because we think that's beneath us. Like nature controlling us humans that can control everything else. How dare she?
Yeah.
So I take it as that. Of course we're arrogant. We don't want to let someone else control us.
But that's why we have so many issues doing this. Typically, year round because we're so offset and not centered around nature. Because what I just said from September to February, you should be doing an introspective look. But what we do is we overly eat, we overly spend, we overly we overdo it.
Isn't December the highest month of suicide? Or like around the holidays?
So particularly from November to February is pretty much that season.
Do you think what we're talking about has to do something to do with that?
I do. I think that. I think we so off. We're not aligned to nature, and we don't respect it enough to get a lesson from it. That that's what happened. Dying by suicide, and that's the new term. We don't say committed suicide. We say they died by suicide now, and. Yes, there are biological things that happens in your brain, whether with the gaps that you have, and you'll learn this when you're in psychology school, and you'll learn anatomy and physiology. But there are things that happen, right? But a lot of those things is not only food induced, we overdo it in the social media. We see somebody don't like our posts or somebody don't respond back to us. We go crazy, right? And I think we need to really, really look at that. What's your thoughts?
When you were saying that, I thought of like stuff happens naturally in the world. We just tend to push it over the limits where we can't come back from it. Like climate change. I've learned this from my AP environmental teacher last year, and I was shocked. Climate change is a normal thing. Global warming is a normal thing. But what we do as humans is push over the limit, push the environment over the limit, and it can't keep up with us. And now we are seeing this crazy weather. That's due to global warming and all that. So we just see the effects of overdoing it.
Yeah, and and that's so true. And I would say nature can keep up with us. The problem is nature is always going to win.
True. Well, if you say it like that, I think about it's keeping up with us. We just don't like it.
Yeah, it's always going to win. So what it's going to do? That's why when COVID hit. And I remember us sitting down, and you remember me and your sister just talking about the things I forced you guys to do an introspective look. You remember that?
No.
You don't remember that? During COVID, we were sitting at the table. I'm pointing, and we were sitting in the living room, and we were just talking. And I asked you, I said, what are some things you guys learned about during this period? That's fine, yeah. That was a moving time for me because I shared with you guys. I said during this time, it wasn't the worst time. It was one of my best years ever. Not only just financial, it was a banner year for me, financially, mentally, everything. I did a lot of introspective looking, but the one downfall to when the seasonal depression is I was so deep introspectively that when springtime came and summertime, I didn't
want to wake up.
Yeah. So I was a seasonal depression.
When you texted me the seasonal depression, I was like, I know I don't usually get seasonal depression. I don't hit those lows. But what I do get is seasonal, just more active spring or a higher frequencies.
Yeah.
I get very paranoid. Like very, very paranoid.
During what time of the year?
It's not time of the year. It's connected to my cycle.
Okay.
Yeah,
you
like
want to elaborate?
Like I always know my period's about to come because like right before I get really paranoid, like really really paranoid. Like nobody loves me, they hate me, they're talking about me. Yeah, wow. I get really really paranoid.
So during that time, so you got the hormonal changes, and that is messing with your serotonins and things of that nature. And is messing. Yeah. Thinking, oh, I'm not pretty. I'm not okay. Guys.
It's not even that. It's like I feel the best, like attractive wise. I'm like, God, you look beautiful. But like everybody hates you. Everybody hates you. So like I think of that and I think of like high frequency. Like I don't get lows, I get super highs, and I need to like fix that.
No, well, and I guess you just got to understand understand your why. One thing you need to know is. Our cycle is an elimination point, and it pushes out toxins. So you got a lot of toxins in your body. No, I'm not saying it from a jokingly perspective. Like toxins are created by different environment, food, music, all those things. So what you might want to do to try to reset it, try for a month prior, like right after your cycle, after that ends, start, say, you know what, I'm just going to go to high fruit, high veggies, and listen to this and limit myself on certain social medias and see how that works. So that's how I kind of figure out my body. And the reason I'm giving you that suggestion is because you said sometimes you want to balance out. And that's why I do it introspective. I always want to find my midline. Because being at your midline, that balance is crucial. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like I get there and I'm like, peace, finally.
Yeah, because like I said, this particular session, this is just our like beginning warm up. Next week, I want to really dive into who define you, and I want to define me. Now, with that being said, I also want to talk about the things that I've defined now was probably different, and I'm gonna talk about my why I look at myself now like I do. Because, and for example, I go back to things we talked about last week. Love. How I look at love is totally different than I looked at it in the back. Way before, you guys was born. I was with your mom and, with my parents, it evolved. I have evolved to where I'm at now. And I'm going to give grace to let it change even more. So I think that's why I really want to go with the next 3 sessions with these podcasts. You like that?
I respect it because I like you sent me that text and I think about him like he needs to get something out. He needs to speak something into the universe.
Ooh.
That's how I take it. Like you need to speak something into the universe to like let it out, to the affirmation. Like this is who I am and I'm proud to say it. So that's how I take it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I respect that.
Yeah.
Who am I to tell you different?
Yeah. Well, you. This is our podcast. So if that's something that you was like, no, I don't want to go there, I respect. I was like, okay, let's figure what we want to talk about. So, and you're right. I do want to put this out. Not, I do like people to know who I am because people like to write their narrative based on their perception of the world. That's why you hear words like cheap and frugal with me because they don't understand why I do what I do. And I'm going to just say this and then we're going to kind of sign off. But one of the things I said about being a minimalist is it eliminates my discontent. It really does. I have reclaimed my time. I don't waste time on a whole lot of stuff, right? I was, pursuing my passion. And, because the more clutter you remove, the more I can center and focus. And I got real freedom. I always used to say no is liberating. Now, I will say there are parts of my freedom that in turn, we talked about race last week, that I don't have because we got this thing called race we need to eliminate. So there are parts of my freedom that I don't have, but for the most part, I got. Yeah,
slowly cutting away them chains.
You gotta cut them. And then I'm gonna use this: create more, consume less. Create more, consume less. And I don't think I know for me. Once I start, because I only been, I don't want to say I've been like this my whole life. You might, for your 17 years, if you look back, you think I was a minimalist the whole time?
Not the whole time, but like I think before you moved here, I remember you were cleaning out all your stuff, like from the military and stuff, and I think that was your beginning.
Yeah.
So that's how I took it. Like you weren't a minimalist until you were in the process of moving here, and you're just getting rid of all that stuff that changed you.
Yeah, it did. That was my trigger. Yeah, it was like, okay, it's time. And a lot of people look at it, well, it's on to the next. It was like, no, it's more than that for me. It was a spiritual thing for me. A lot of things is spiritual to me because spirituality is my current reality. It's very spiritual. So even like our conversations, I feel they very, very spiritual. It's much more than a feeling. It's things that I can use and reflect on in my life. I can dream about some. I dreamed about some of our conversations. So,
I had a dream.
Okay.
And I searched it up and I was like, that makes sense.
What was you dreaming about?
So I was dreaming. I didn't really have a setting, but I remember my armpits were really, really hairy. And a black cricket, specifically, like I remember it being a black cricket, flew from my armpit. And I searched it up, and a cricket, it means like positivity and all that. A black cricket, I think, was loneliness. And a live cricket jumping off of you means you need change.
Oh, okay.
So for me, I'm like, okay, I understand. Because it's one of those things, you know it, but you don't want to do it.
So did it resonate?
It resonated because, like, I've known for a while, I need change. I need to reach out. And that black cricket, it was just like go forth.
So what do you mean you need changing? And we won't dig into it much. I'm just curious now.
Like putting myself out there. I've been doing it, and that's why the cricket jumped off of me because I'm not lonely anymore. At least that's how I took it.
Oh yeah, okay. You've been putting yourself out.
Yeah,
in school,
I've been putting myself out there. People
Ah.
talk to me now. So that loneliness is jumping off of me.
Yeah.
That's how I took it. And plus I need to shave my armpits. That was also part of the dream.
Well, you know what? That's something that your sister's gotten a lot better with, and you seem to be getting better with. Bella always been.
Yeah, she's good.
Yeah. But that's a good thing. Okay, that's good. But until the next time.
This is the Triple D's or
Daddy-daughter discussion.